My name is Joseph Garcia. I'm a junior at Liberty High School and I'm a fairly well-behaved student. However, this school year something happened to me in my English class that confused me. My teacher, Mrs. Sterner, confiscated my cell phone just because I had my hand in my pocket. She assumed that I was texting in class, which I wasn't. The strictness of authority has changed dramatically over time at Liberty High School. Liberty High School is a public high school located in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Over the past couple of years, Liberty High School has run into problems concerning the behavior of some of the student body, such as skipping classes, fighting, disrespect to authority, and low effort to schoolwork. In the 2010-2011 school year, the administration has implemented some new strategies to control these behaviors. These strategies include teachers at every corner of the hallways during class periods, a no hat policy, no wearing of the hoods of a sweatshirt, otherwise known as hoodies, and a crackdown on electronic devices. While these new policies seem to be working, it is still questioned as to whether or not they are effective. Kathy Moore is the 11th grade principal at Liberty High School. Because of her strict ways of handling business and her commitment to the code of conduct, these problems at Liberty are nothing new to her.
We've cracked down on the use of hats. There are no hats in the hallways, which is very helpful. Students are using their iPods and cell phones in the CAF, which I think is a benefit to them.
Tammy Adelsberger is one of the 10 guidance counselors at Liberty High School. She is a very friendly person that makes you feel welcome and secure whenever you speak to her. She handles students' class placement and helps students out whenever they're not doing best in school. Because of the many referrals given out to students, she also was accustomed to these problems.
I think some of the issues that caused the administration to take a more authoritative role in terms of discipline were the fact that over the last several years, especially the hallways, before school, after school, in between classes, really got out of hand with students wandering around, being loud, high-fiving, getting physical. We had lots of fights. So I think it was just that our hallways were becoming unsafe and our students were feeling unsafe.
Many students wondered where these new procedures originated from, so we asked Ms. Moore about it.
The administrative team, which would be all 4 assistant grade level principals, the curriculum director, and Mrs. Durante.
Well, with regards to the hallways, and probably the most notable procedure I see is that when classes change, teachers are outside their doors. They're moving the traffic accordingly to where they're supposed to be going. During classes, teachers are using some of their as-assigned time. They're sitting at desks, they're doing their work, they're making sure anyone out in the hallway has a pass. So I think we're having more accountability as far as the students go, and we're able to monitor that better because administration, teachers, and even guidance counselors are all out in the halls when classes change. I think they are effective. Again, the biggest one I can see is the safety in the hallways. We certainly have had a drastic reduction in the number of fights that have been occurring, during school time. And I think the referrals have also lessened in terms of students being out in the hallways without authorization, without a pass, because they're being written up. Again, they're being held more accountable, more follow-through. I know you interviewed Ms. Moore earlier, and she was concentrating more on the hats, the cell phones, and the iPods. I think we've seen that that's working as well too, because students don't want to lose their hats, their iPods, or their cell phones. So they're, not having them out as much in class. In the beginning, there were lots of complaints. I know we saw lots of students in the guidance office, mainly because they got their hat taken, or they got their cell phone taken, or they got their iPod taken. But like Ms. Moore said, after about a week or two, when students realized that this was going to be a rule that was going to be consistently enforced, they were able to adapt to that. And I believe the cell phones and the iPods, if a parent came in at the end of the day, they were allowed to retrieve, their son's or daughter's iPod or cell phone. The hats, unfortunately, for the most part, were lost forever. I just think, a better sense of safety, a better sense of respect, following rules, having set rules, and having students follow those rules.
After the interview, I asked Mrs. Moore and Mrs. Adelsberger what they think they can do to help the situation at Liberty High School.
I've basically stayed the same, so I'm going to just continue on with going. This is probably the 3rd class that I've had, and another awesome class.
I think just for the committee to reconvene, again, perhaps add a few more students, get a better cross-section of the school population to determine what other, means we can put in place to accomplish the goals that we need, which again is just to provide a safe learning environment for all of our students. But I think overall I can see a huge difference at Liberty High School this academic year. I think it's the best year that I've seen, and I've been at Liberty 6 years.